Hello everyone, welcome to another video on this channel. If you're new here, just subscribe, like, and of course leave a comment. And for those who are not in the trading community, there's a link in the description to that. We just share setups there. I share some of my setups that I'll be taking during the week. So today we're going to look at how I set my take profit points using the Fibonacci Trend Extension Tool. I use it to determine take profit points. Yes, at times we use support and resistance points. We enter trades towards support and resistance or trend lines or areas of value. But there's a tool that can help you find those points. Now, you all know how it's difficult to get out of a profitable trade too early and then watch it go more and more into your direction. And if you're not disciplined enough, it can trigger your psychology at some point. And you just jump in and then you end up messing up, or you may have the right setup and may not really make money, yet the trade went in your direction. So we shall be using the tool that is found here at this left menu under Fibonacci. So when you click here, you see there is a Trend-Based Fib Extension Tool, this one, and it's the one that we are going to use. Yes, there's another way I use the Fibonacci retracement tool for take profits, but today I'll show you this one. And without wasting much time, the first thing that we're going to do is, whenever you open your chart, you want to determine the trend of that market. Now you can see right here, this is a downward movement because the market is forming lower lows and of course lower highs. This high was lower, lower low, lower high, as you can see, lower low, lower high. So even though you go to now this one was going upside, as you can see. It broke above this, of course, but of course if you go to lower time frames, you'll find a better market structure either here or here. This is the 4-hour time frame. But just to give you a perspective, this tool only works in trending markets. You have to identify that your market is trending, not a ranging one, for you to be able to use it well. So this is our upward movement. We have the markets at this point. It was forming higher high, higher low. I'm considering these ones. Then higher low, higher high, higher low. Then high, low, high. Then a low, which was what determined the change of trend when it was broken here. So we use that to determine the trend of that market. So once you've been able to identify the trend of the market and you apply your strategy, that's when we bring in the point of take profit that you're looking at. And for those who trade crypto, you identify that at times these tools work for markets that don't really have market structure above a certain price. Of course, right now the market is down. There may be some effect in the past and stuff like that, but most times it works for markets that don't have any pricing on the other side of them. You find a market that is really new in crypto, and you have to be able to identify your take profit points without even being saying, oh, I feel this. No, just have a target. So what we do is we drag our tool. Okay, after doing analysis, like you've done your analysis and you've seen that the market is aligning with what you always look out for, be it your strategy, what you always look out for when you're analyzing. Maybe you start from the 4-hour time frame, then the 1 hour, then the 15. You draw support and resistances. You mark out your trend lines, and you're in line with the trend of the market. I like following the trend of the market. So you do all that. You identify your points that have broken, and you want the market to pull back to. You do all that step by step. You'll be able to identify where you're going to put your stop losses. Then, once you have got your stop loss point, because we have to first look into the accounts and see how the risk tolerance. Then now we look at setting take profit points. Then lastly, we look at what am I ready to enter this trade, what are my entry signals for this trade, candlesticks and stuff like that. It's a whole system that you're supposed to redo every single day, and that's what marks out your trading strategy. But trading with the trend is what you're supposed to do. Always trade with the trend, always, So Once you're able to identify that this market is going up or down, let's see. I'm going to try out on a few pairs, and I hope we shall leave here with something for those who have never used it before. So let's look for a clear chart. Let's just start with, okay, this one. And at some markets, you may find that there is clear market structure on a different time frame from the other. Now you can see that this one, we're going to use this current market movement here. Then I'm going to be able to show you what I mean. So we identify that here the market is going lower. You can see that it's going lower, right? Because the market here broke below, gave us a pullback, then again broke below. You get. So we get our tool, because I've told you that we have been able to identify that this is a downward market, because we are seeing how the market broke below this, gave retest, then again dropped, and again now we are seeing it breaking below, and this was the last low, even though it gave us a head and shoulders. Very clear market structure. So after you've identified that this is maybe your entry, this is your entry here, somewhere here. That's why I told you have to first do analysis. You get your tool, you draw it from where that whole move began, from here to here, then to your entry point. And yes, of course, the tool is going to show you so many lines, but all this can be take profit points. But what we do is we can reduce these numbers by going into settings. You double click into settings, then you just come to style and you check out the ones that you don't feel are. To me, I always remove this 0.236. Then I also remove the 50%. Then I remove the ones that seem too far, like this. You can see how it's very far. I also remove this one. Which one is the last one? This one. I remove it, you can see. And yes, I can leave this one because at times it will work out, but to me not really. So I remove it also, and I just want to get a small risk to reward ratio, because the more you target far moves, the more the market is going to play with your emotions and stuff like that. So at times I can even just want the market to come to 0.618 and I leave that trade. Since my entry is already up here, I would have already got something, and yeah. Alright, now let's get one that happened in the past, and I show you how this market really respects those points. So going into the past, let's get a clear market so that you understand the concept. Let's use this one, right? So this impulsive move began from here. Okay, let's start from here. The market has broken and confirmed that it's ready to start a trend. So I can pull this trend extension, drag it from where the move starts to where it formed the high, then to my entry point, which was formed maybe say the Fibonacci or demand zone or something like that, and I click it here. So if I'm targeting this area 0.618, you can see that to show me that here take profit is it. And then for someone who was targeting resistances, they would have gotten out from here. But if you're using this tool, you can see that you can hold up to here or hold up to here or hold up to here. As long as you have a strategy that tells you that these are the points, you can choose one of these points to use as your take profits point, not all of them. Now, for example, if my entry was here, I would pull my tool from this point where the swing low began to the swing high, then to my entry either here or something like that. You can put your entry anywhere. So if my entry was here, I would click it like that, and you can see that my first take profit would have been hit, and hit. So it helps you do that. And you see how the last one hit. Now imagine someone who had more than that. You're supposed to build the strategies like this. You don't need to just assume that the market is just going to stop there. No, you build a strategy and use tools to your advantage. I believe that's how we build these strategies. It's not about assuming, So even though you go to the past, you get a trending market. Let me say one I traded, you're going to find out that my tools don't change. Yes, I have concepts of some strategies that at times people, I just apply them. For example, if my swing low, this is this, to okay, let's use this to this because it's a downward market. I'll just drag my tool from here to here. Oh, sorry, I used the wrong one. But if my entry was here, I would put it that, and I would find take profit points here. It's more defined. So if this was my entry, I drag the tool from here to here, then my entry point here. Guys, this is the 4 time frame. So you can see if my take profit was 0.6, I would have taken profit from there. If you go to lower time frames, I don't know if we shall be able to find it, but these tools really work lower time frames. You just have to have your strategy, right? Yeah, I've made so many videos on this channel. There are 200 something. Is it 100 something? So you can always formulate a strategy. And yeah, I teach so many people how to trade. I believe there are like 30. I build sessions, personal sessions for each person. So you may find someone else uses a different strategy. But that's simply how you set take profits using the Trend-Based Fib Extension Tool. You know, and on these lower time frames, they're very easy to identify. As long as you line yourself with the trend, you'll be able to make a living from these markets. Yeah, you'll be able to make a living for, even though your entry was here, you drag your tool from this swing. Okay, let's just do it. If you drag it from this swing to this swing, and then your entry was here, you can see that in my 0.6 would have been hit already, and I'm out. For someone who is aiming for a lot, it depends on your strategy. If you're a 1 to 3, 1 to 2 trader, at least you can have a perspective for your trades. You know, you can have a perspective for your trades. So that's it for this video. Yeah, just like, join our community, and of course leave a comment. Yeah, just like the video. Yeah, so that's it from me today, and have a blessed day.